with this video, it's your final sign to go all in. You can't waste your time anymore. You can't keep on doing what you've been doing already because it surely hasn't been working. Why do you keep going in a direction that doesn't help you get anywhere in life and only makes the stuff worse for you instead of actually trying to improve your life and go somewhere that you actually want to get to? You need to understand that your time isn't infinite and every second that goes you won't get back. So if you waste every second that goes, then what are you really using your time on? What could you be using your time on instead? Remember, it isn't infinite. Time is precious because you won't get it back. So every single second of this video that you watch, you won't get back. And every single second that you scroll endlessly, you won't get back. And every single second that you play video games or do whatever dumb habit that you've been doing for the past 5 years, you won't get that time back. Also, don't just think about your time. Think about the people that have been there before you. Think about your ancestors. Think about your parents. What have they done? What have they sacrificed in their life to create a good life for you and to keep on the name going and make sure that the bloodline would continue? Think about that, because it's not small things that they've done. Your great-grandfather, he fought in the Second World War probably for your country so that you could be sitting here right now having easy times. And you know the loop that hard times create strong men and strong men create easy times. And you are there in the easy times right now. You don't have a war you have to participate in. You can just sit there at home and talk to your VR chatbots or whatever it is, right? Think about your ancestors. They're looking up from heaven. From heaven, your ancestors are looking down at you and they're thinking, is this guy really gonna keep the bloodline going and actually take our name and make it move on and actually still continue to be something? And what are they seeing when they're looking down? They're seeing you laying in your bed scrolling for hours a day while they were out working since they were 13 years old, and they were fighting in every single war for the country and for their family because they knew that providing and helping and taking care of the people that they cared about was what that was going to get them fulfilled. And you're sitting here wasting every single second of the day that you get to waste because of course you're probably forced to go to school or whatever, but every single second that you actually yourself have control of, you're probably wasting it. So you see what I'm saying here? Not only are you wasting your life away because you won't get your time back that you've scrolled, but think about your ancestors. Think about what they're thinking. They sacrificed so much for you. They've lived probably a horrible life to give you this. So you better get up and work. And not only your ancestors, what about God? Don't you think He's looking? He's looking at every single person when they're sleeping, when they're awake, whatever that you're doing, He's looking at you. He's looking down and He's thinking, is he really living up to his potential? Because think about the day when you die and you stand in front of God on the day of judgment and He starts telling you about a person and He says, is this you? And you say, no, that's not me. I'm not ultra productive and fit and not wasting time and present and actually good and taking care of my family. When He lists all of those things up and you're saying, no, that's not me, and He said, that's the person you're supposed to be. Think about how that's going to hurt. When God, literally, the guy who's going to bless you if you ask and if you repent and if you go to Him, and you've just wasted all of your time and done stupid habits and gotten addicted to all of these weird things. And then you're standing there at the day of judgment and He says to you, no, that was the man that you were supposed to be. Think about how that's going to hurt inside your brain. That's also a reason that you need to get to work. Because the opportunity that you get right here, right now, that I'm telling you to get up, you won't get it again. You won't have the same amount of time as you have right now. Because think about in 10 years, you look back and you're like, shit, I just wasted another 10 years. But what if you get to work now? Where can you be in 10 years? Think about that. 10 years of hard work what isn't that going to get you? That's definitely going to get you to where you want to be, or at least in the direction. Your parents, they're literally living right next to you and they're seeing you being lazy, staying in your room all day, laying in bed, and they see your grades, they're declining. When they see how you look, they're ashamed. And they won't tell you this. Like, the truth is not nice to hear. And your parents, they won't say it to you if they're disappointed. They won't. But I will. Even though the truth is not nice to hear, I will tell you it because I want to help you. They also want to help you, but they don't dare to say it because they care about how you're going to react. They care too much about you, so they don't want to say it to you. But I'm going to say it here. They are probably disappointed if that's what you're doing with your life. So, don't you want to take care of them? Don't you want to help them and how much they've sacrificed for you to give you a great upbringing? So you need to also give back to them at one point, right? So what is the point in still wasting time? You're full of energy only once in your life. You're young right now. You're probably 15, 16 years old. Maybe a bit older, maybe a bit younger. Let's just say that you're that old, right? You have so much energy, power. You can do whatever you want. You're physically available to, like, you can do everything with your body, right? Think about in 30 years. Do you think you have the same opportunities? Of course not. You have your whole life ahead of you right now. And if you set the direction in your young years, then that will serve you for the rest of your life. Because you've probably seen those like videos of like us in 10 years, and then it's like me and bro in like a Ferrari or something, like those videos, and then they say them in 10 years and they're just working at McDonald's, going to parties, right? Because if you sacrifice your young years, then you'll pay for that for the rest of your life. But if you sacrifice your young years and really use them to work hard, then you'll benefit from that for the rest of your life. There is a quote from the film, I think it's Rocky, and what he says is, he says, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. He says to him, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. I'm just gonna say that very slowly. There is no tomorrow. Hang that up on your wall. Stare at it. Remind yourself every single day, every single minute, every single hour. There is no tomorrow. Because if you're always gonna set out the time that you're gonna do stuff, you're never gonna do it. Your mind is saying right now, oh, I'll go all in tomorrow, right? Tomorrow I'll do it. Yeah, tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes around, and then you're like, oh yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it today. That's what you're thinking right now. But if you don't start right now, then you won't get anywhere. And remember that hang a piece of paper up in your wall that says there is no tomorrow, because there isn't. If you sacrifice for your future self today, then you'll get the benefit from it tomorrow. And if you indulge in comfort today, your future self will pay for it. So why don't you get to work? And why don't you keep telling yourself that there is no tomorrow? Because there isn't. You only have right now. So use your time wisely and get to work. You're clearly interested in self-improvement videos like this one, so just go down and click the subscribe button. It's a win-win from me and you. I get to teach you and you get the knowledge. And remember to put one foot in front of the other.